insert generic joke about black lesbians here. I don't want to get in trouble. See, I don't know what to say without someone.
I'll let Leon insert that.
Well,
go for it.
You got to figure. I mean, I have nothing against black lesbians, but you got to figure that has to be the angriest demographic you could ever come up with.
That's hilarious. Oh, my God. What's this movie about?
Go ahead and close your laughing window now.
I'm just saying, a black lesbian bookstore has no humor section. Let's put it that way.
Oh man,
You said it.
But
I'd like to offer a series of apologies to everyone out there who know who you are. I did not prompt him to say that. I'm so glad I tricked him.
I mean, like if you say the words angry black lesbian, they're kind of redundant at some point. However, watching the movie Pariah, I understand why.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's funny because this isn't really an angry lesbian movie
not at all.
At all. It's really just it's a coming-of-age film that is, like, you could substitute in this film in some ways lesbian for girl who's interested in the tough kid or the greaser or whatever.
I suppose you could.
I mean, really,
to a degree.
In some ways, it's that kind of tale. Like,
Right.
she's afraid to be honest with her parents about who she really is and the type of people that she wants to be with, and they're modeling her to be this person in their minds they think she's supposed to be while they're dealing with their own troubles. But the truth is, she wants to lick furry gash.
Oh my God, that's worse than anything I would have said.
What? That's not offensive. It's what happens.
It's the after
Really,
school.
gash. The gash is not offensive.
As far as I've been told, gash is not considered to be
Gash sounds like a
offensive.
horrible wound. Though,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, it is what it is.
Gash. Yeah.
I don't think vaginas in and of
Yeah,
themselves.
who are you hanging out with that's telling you that that's not offensive?
Who are you
Japanese?
hanging out that is.
The world.
You show me where, sir. You show me where.
Oh my God.
Well, when I saw this movie, I was like, okay, here's an after school special movie that was too special for after school. That, you had to like, okay, wow, yeah, we'll wait a few years for that to come out on DVD. But.
Well, I'm feeling like, the ABC's not real interested in telling the coming out stories of young black lesbians in the city at this point. But it's a shame because I got to tell you, Pariah was one of the better, like, of the, just straight drama, not straight, but, dramas that I saw this year.
Hey man, I gotta agree. With the posters and the trailers and stuff, I was like, all right, this is where we come to with the indie movies. They got to tell a story like this. I'm sure it'll be full of woe and preachy and all. And I couldn't believe how much I was caught up in just how human this drama was, and just completely felt for this little girl through the whole thing. And it's not like Precious, where she's heaped on in such a way to where it's so much you like. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure this happens, but it's kind of straining my ability to attach to it.
People want to compare it to Precious, but it's
not.
The
No,
same
it's
thing
not.
at all.
No, there's no stealing of chicken or frying pans being thrown at the screen for this one. But with the movies like this, especially with the subject matter, I'm always hoping that they don't go that extra route that they don't really need to go to just to make the film all that shocking or compelling. I was praying to God, I was like, I hope nobody gets raped in this movie.
Right.
I really hope not, because I mean, with subject matter like this, that's usually where it tends to go. And I'm just like, you know what, just enough with the rape already. Just tell me a story that I can honestly believe, because hey, I know a lot of lesbians and a lot of them don't end up that bad, but but watching the movie, I was like, wow, this is something as far as like the acting and the story involved. It's like, wow, it's really compelling. It really gets you thrown in there, and it really makes you feel for this kid. It's like, wow, this is a story. I'm like surprised nobody's done this before as far as this type of subject matter, because it's something that shocking to me I wouldn't even think about.
It's odd for a film that is as frank and honest about the subject as it is, that, as you said earlier, there isn't really much in the way of violence or shocking things in here. It's really kind of a gentle story about this girl coming to terms with who she actually is in a lot of ways.
Trying to figure out who she is and getting her heart broken by people and her parents.
But yeah, that's the most important thing with the relationship with her parents.
Yeah, specifically her mom, who's played by Kim Wayans, who I hadn't seen since
in Living Color.
Right,
yeah, which I'm like, wait a minute, I remember when she used to be funny. She's not so funny in this movie.
No, it's
she's scary in this film.
I mean, it's really like, it's hard to not hate her, except, you know what? She's like so many women that I know. And that's the key to a lot of this. Like, so many of the characters, especially the parents, I'm like, I feel like I know these people. I've seen this. They're reacting exactly the way people act. It's showing how in the black community, like, this is really looked down upon. And her dad, she has such a great relationship with her dad, and yet it works because he's kind of in denial about it. Whereas the mom is overreactive and just making her life a living hell. And she's a teenager. She's still trying to figure out things for herself. Who can she hang out with and who can she be close to? And I don't know. It just, even now, I say there was a point later in the movie where it just kind of broke me down. Just my feeling for her, and just even thinking about it now, I'm like, please, okay, you guys take it.
It was heartbreaking. Yeah. It was heartbreaking. Yeah,
it's a weird sort of triangle because it's the main character Alike, played by a newcomer, and I have no idea if I'm saying this right or not. Adepero Odoi. I don't know.
She's probably Adebisi's daughter.
I have no idea. But
she better change the
she's
name.
She's a 17-year-old, and she lives with her parents and her younger sister, who is definitely not gay, but is aware that she is. She's okay with it, but in a sort of like teasing sort of.
But in that bratty little sister way,
blackmailing. With everything,
right.
with I'm gonna tell.
But Alike has a friendship with her teacher because she's really, really accomplished at poetry for a girl her age, and like that's obviously the direction she wants to go. And maybe you don't want to actually get that degree, just to warn you. Poetry's great and all, but
you don't want to be a black lesbian who's broke too.
Why don't you get your engineering degree and then do poetry on the side?
She'll be living
it out great.
She'll be living in Austin in no time.
Exactly. But she's slowly coming to terms with the fact that she is indeed gay. I mean, she knows she is, but it's about fitting into the culture of it, with the help of her best friend, who's also a lesbian, Laura, who's I don't know, she's one of the more, she's like those hefty lesbians.
She's butch.
Yeah. She's butch, that's the term.
Yeah. Thank you, Cole.
Yes. I mean, but they're really good friends, and you're kind of surprised right off the bat, why isn't she initiating her into womanhood in a different way?
Yeah.
Because it becomes clear that Alike hasn't even had sex with anybody, any woman, much less a man. And there comes a point where she is pushed by her mom into forming a new friendship with someone, which is a neighborhood girl, sweet, really cute girl who
actually kind of hot in a pedophilic kind of way.
Who herself,
okay. Thank you for telling us that, Leon.
Turns out to have some amount of interest in Alike, to her great surprise. So then you've got that weird triangle because it seems like Laura, her best friend, is kind of like, I was saving that for later.
Well, you know what? Going along with with things that happen all the time. Yeah, often you might have your eye on somebody and you're trying to wait and choose your moment, and somebody else just comes in and just snakes it away from you. You're like, hey, I had dibs. What the hell, man? I had a 10-point plan, and you just came in and ruined the whole thing.
That's when you go, too late, Luthor, too late.
That's that fallback plan friend you got. You're like, no, we're just friends. Unless I can't find any for 2 or 3 months, and then I'll be like, hey, what are you doing?
You can only graze in the pasture for so long.
Just goes to show you there's not much difference between men and women when it comes to sexual relationships.
No, and that's the fascinating thing about watching this. When you watch it and you're like, man, this shit happened to me. Am I a black lesbian?